Hello everyone and welcome to my Y&R Insider 24 update channel. Is Mitch and Sienna's conflict the cause of Noah's car accident? The Young and the Restless spoilers hint that the Noah LA car crash may have been orchestrated by a mysterious man named Mitch. We're here to find out how Mitch, Sienna Bacall's lover, might have ordered a hit on the nightclub owner. Sharon and Nick Newman had planned to meet Noah in Los Angeles, but Noah's accident has thrown them off guard. In case you haven't noticed, Noah's role has been recast, and he is currently involved in a significant mystery involving your favorite Y&R characters. They are shocked. Nick and Sharon were eager to learn more about Noah's proposal to open a new club in Los Angeles. He was in Los Angeles to meet with a developer of projects, but Schick meets their son for the first time at his hospital bedside. Dark spoilers suggest that sabotage was planned in Noah's accident. It might have been that his connections led him into trouble, and now Nick and Sharon need to figure out what really happened. Who is Mitch, and is Noah's crash his fault? In the episode that airs on October 14th, Holden Novak takes Claire Newman around Los Angeles and reunites with Sienna, who owns a nightclub that he used to frequent when he lived in Los Angeles. Sienna said yes when Holden asked her if she and Mitch are still together. She did, however, appear cautious when discussing Mitch, indicating that there are problems in the relationship. Was Noah harmed by Mitch? The new Y&R character played by Roger Howarth is described as a mysterious outsider who is involved in Noah's plot with Sienna and Detective Burrow, Matt Cohen. Many fans believe that Howarth is playing Mitch until we find out for sure. When Noah's parents first see him, he is in bad shape, but we can assure you that he recovers eventually. He will be able to answer Detective Burrow's questions when he is coherent, and we will learn more about what he has been up to recently. In the meantime, Y&R's newest villain could be Mitch, according to spoilers. Stay tuned. Shocking information, rekindled emotions, and plans derailed. Spoilers for Wednesday, October 15's episode of The Young and the Restless hint at some significant events in Genoa City. Two ex-partners rekindle feelings, two parents receive shocking news, and one character's plans are derailed. What can we anticipate for the show on Wednesday? It's time to discover. Shocking news for Nick and Sharon. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Wednesday, October 15th suggest that Sharon Newman and Nick Newman will learn some shocking information. It appears that they will be informed of the development that led to Noah Newman's car accident. However, there will be significantly more inquiries than responses. Nick is expected to conduct some investigation by the end of the week, so Noah's situation will remain a major mystery. But will he survive? Victoria Newman and Nate Hastings reconnect. Nate Hastings will console Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinley, across town. Additional teasers suggest that the two might feel something, so will emotions triumph? Could they share more than just a kiss? To find out, fans will need to tune in. Read more, The Young and the Restless spoilers. Is Sienna's lover the ordering power behind Noah's car crash? The plan of Claire Newman failed. Last but not least, Wednesday's The Young and the Restless spoilers suggest that Claire Newman's strategy will fall through. Holden Novak invited Claire to hang out, but only as friends, as she was hoping to enjoy the single life in Los Angeles with a short getaway. Before flying to Los Angeles, Claire split up with Kyle Abbott, but Kyle has a master plan to meet Claire there and get her back. Will he locate his girlfriend? Will he improve or deteriorate the situation? Naturally, given how dangerous Holden appears to be, could Claire end up in a terrible situation? We can only hope that Claire's egotistical ex-boyfriend is the only thing that derails her adventure in Los Angeles. A catastrophe that alters everything. The Young and the Restless next great mystery takes place in Los Angeles, a city of endless light and shadows. After a devastating car accident leaves Noah Newman clinging to life, what begins as a business trip quickly devolves into chaos. However, as the hours pass and the specifics become clear, there are rumblings that this was not an accident. Who is everyone talking about? Mitch is the dangerous lover of Sienna Bacall, a man whose presence lingers in the dark like cigarette smoke. Could Noah have been hit by Mitch? And why, if so? A reckoning, a recast, and a return. Although Noah's recast, Lucas Adams taking over for Rory Gibson, had already generated a lot of excitement among fans, few anticipated that his first storyline would be fraught with danger and intrigue. Noah, now a successful nightclub owner, had been working on an expansion deal for weeks while commuting between Genoa City and Los Angeles. In collaboration with a group of developers, the objective was to establish a brand new high-end music venue that would be a cross between the Phoenix and Society. However, it appears that his ambitions may have drawn him into the wrong crowd. Sienna Bacall is a mysterious owner of a Los Angeles nightclub who exudes both charm and danger simultaneously. While showing Claire Newman around Los Angeles, Holden Novak runs into her and their conversation hints at secrets hidden behind polished smiles. Even though Sienna admits that she is still with Mitch, her body language hints at hesitation and a hint of fear. She suggests that Mitch is possessive, controlling, perhaps even violent. She also slightly flinches when Holden mentions Noah's name, as if the circle of deceit might be getting bigger faster than she thought. The call that took everything away. Sharon Newman is getting ready for a trip she has been looking forward to, a sort of reunion, back in Genoa City. She and Nick Newman had planned to fly to Los Angeles to meet Noah, check out his new business, and possibly spend a few days together as a family. But the moment Sharon's phone rings, their plans are thrown off. An urgent, shaky voice comes from a hospital emergency contact on the other end. Noah Newman has been involved in a serious automobile accident. The expressions are heavy in the air. Time pauses. Sharon's world is fractured once more for a woman who has experienced more tragedy than most, from Cass's death to Ray's sudden death. Additionally, Nick's need to safeguard his family has never been greater because of the overwhelming number of loved ones he has lost. The two are on a plane to Los Angeles in just a few hours, looking for answers and praying for hope. Love, dread, and flashbacks from hospital scenes. Sharon and Nick arrive at the LA hospital to find Noah unconscious, hooked up to machines, and his bruised but still recognizable face. A flood of emotions comes over them when they see their son in this way. Sharon's hand shakes as she brushes a strand of hair from his forehead, and her voice shakes as she whispers his name. Nick, who has always been the rock, is barely holding on. He says in a hoarse voice, "We were just supposed to meet him for dinner." This wasn't meant to happen. They are reassured by the doctors that Noah's condition is serious but stable. A head injury. Ribs broken. A wrist fracture. However, the mystery, not the physical wounds, haunts Sharon. Because not everything adds up. Long after midnight, the accident occurred on a quiet road near Sienna's nightclub. After a tense phone call, Noah reportedly left the club an hour earlier. Raised voices were heard by witnesses, but no one could see who he was arguing with. His vehicle then veered off the road and ran into a retaining wall. Was the driver intoxicated? A mechanical malfunction? Or something far more sinister? Mitch is the mysterious newcomer. Mitch, the new character created by Roger Howarth, appears in the midst of the chaos like a storm cloud. Standing outside Sienna's club and watching paramedics load Noah into the ambulance is his first thrilling scene. His expression is hard to read. Concerned. Amused. Guilty. Although Mitch is described as a businessman with questionable ethics, his interest in Sienna and, by extension, her nightclub go far beyond love. This is made abundantly clear from the beginning. Noah's proposal to invest in the Los Angeles scene may have put his business in jeopardy, as there are rumors that he is involved in money laundering through entertainment venues. It is not out of the question that Mitch would have given someone the order to silence Noah if he had discovered evidence of his illegal activities. Additionally, as Y&R fans are aware, no crime remains unsolved forever. The study of Burrow Detective Burrow enters the storyline to investigate the crash. Burrow, composed, methodical, and determined, is not persuaded by the accident narrative. The road skid marks indicate Noah attempted to swerve, not to avoid an obstacle but rather another vehicle. That brings Burrow to Sienna, whose nervous demeanor sets off alarm bells right away. She says she was home all night, but security footage shows her leaving the club shortly before the crash, so her timeline doesn't match up. She is shaken when Holden Novak comes to visit her later. She pauses and says, "They're asking questions I can't answer." "Holden, you don't know Mitch. He doesn't like it when people look into his business." Holden is aware that Claire, who has been hanging out with him in Los Angeles, may be in danger simply by association, and that there is a serious problem. Claire's mistaken plans after Kyle Abbott Holden's invitation appeared to be harmless, a friend offering a distraction, Claire Newman had envisioned her trip to Los Angeles as a chance to unwind. However, the universe has different plans. Claire finds herself caught up in a dangerous web rather than enjoying cocktails on the beach. She senses the tension when she overhears Holden talking to Sienna. Later, as she was scrolling through her phone in the hotel lobby, she noticed a breaking news alert about a Noah Newman car accident. Her relative. Instantaneous panic sets in. She yells, "Holden," and rushes to find him. "We must proceed to the hospital." Fear and guilt take the place of her plans for independence. She never would have boarded that plane if she had known what would happen in Los Angeles. In shock, old feelings were revived. Sharon and Nick are forced to confront more than just their son's trauma at the hospital. They are also forced to confront long-buried emotions. New routines emerge. Nick shields Sharon from upsetting details, makes phone calls to make sure she's rested, and brings Sharon coffee. Sharon, on her part, leans on him because of their shared grief, which leads to an intimacy that neither of them can deny. When Noah briefly regains consciousness and mumbles, "Mom, Dad, together again," both of them are left speechless. Long-time rumors have circulated among fans that a chic reunion might be sparked by Noah's plot. Sharon Case and Joshua Morrow never lost their chemistry, and since both of their characters are currently single, the emotional weight of their shared pain may rekindle their bond. However, as is always the case in Genoa City, love is not without its difficulties. Nate and Victoria. Reuniting in the shadows, Victoria Newman and Nate Hastings once more cross paths in Genoa City despite the chaos in Los Angeles. At Newman Enterprises, the two have a quiet, intense scene, a meeting after hours that turns into something much more intimate. Nate admits that he misses her even though he is still dealing with his professional fallout. He softly informs her that she was his anchor, even when everything broke down. Victoria, who is typically composed, loosens her guard. She admits, "I told myself I was done with you, but part of me never was." A touch that sticks. A prolonged glance. The tension increases. The spark is undeniable, regardless of whether it leads to a kiss or something else. This subplot gives Y&R fans a taste of romantic nostalgia in the midst of a week filled with mystery and tragedy. It serves as a reminder that love can survive in the midst of chaos. Twists and theories. Did Mitch direct the hit? Who was responsible for Noah's crash? That's the million-dollar question. Fans and insiders alike are circulating a number of theories. The hit was ordered by Mitch. The most convincing theory is that Mitch hired someone to sabotage Noah's car because he was worried that Noah would find out about his illegal activities. This would be consistent with Roger Howarth's track record of portraying morally nuanced and sinisterly charismatic characters. The covert deal of Sienna. In order to safeguard herself, Sienna might have made a deal with Mitch in which she gave up information about Noah's plans in exchange for safety. However, if that is the case, her guilt may soon consume her. A chance event with unintended consequences. As is typical of soap operas, the accident may initially appear to be deliberate but later reveal multiple layers of misunderstanding, such as a rival's jealousy, a miscommunication, or even a double cross. Regardless of the truth, Y&R is preparing a slow-burn plot that combines romance, vengeance, and redemption. New bonds and old fears between Holden and Claire. Always the charming mystery man, Holden Novak appears as an unexpected ally. He is determined to assist Claire and Sharon in discovering the truth, despite his previous connection to Sienna's world. Holden goes to the crash site late at night in one tense scene. He finds something as he shines his phone light across the tire marks and broken glass. It's a blackened, twisted piece of metal that looks like it came from another car. He takes a picture and sends it to Detective Burrow, but he senses someone watching him before he can leave. A silhouetted figure, a whispering voice that says, "Stop digging, Novak. You have no idea who to deal with." Holden turns, but the person has vanished. Mitch's threat and Sienna's guilt. Sienna's composure begins to deteriorate in the meantime. She tries to host a charity event at her club, but she can't focus. Mitch's presence is suffocating when he arrives. As he grasps her arm, he says coldly, "You've been talking to Novak again." "I advised you to avoid this," I said. Sienna tries to stand her ground. "Mitch, a man was close to death. I can't just deny it ever happened." His response is unsettling. You better pretend or you'll be next. Sienna weeps as she sits by herself at the bar that evening. She picks up her phone, opens a Noah N labeled message thread, and stares at an unread message. I am sorry. I did not intend for any of this to occur. The fact that she knows more about Noah's crash than she claims confirms her guilt. The detective's revolution. Noah finally regains consciousness at the hospital. He recalls fragments from his memory, including an argument, the sight of headlights in the rearview mirror, and the squealing of tires. Burrow, the detective, leans in. Noah, do you recall who you were arguing with? Noah is hesitant. I'm not sure. I think. Mitch. Everyone in the room feels the shock of the name. Nick clenches his fists while Sharon gasps. The Newmans won't stop until justice is served, if Mitch is indeed behind this. Prediction. The piece before the storm Y&R sets up its chessboard for the upcoming episodes as the week comes to a close. Sharon and Nick promise to remain in Los Angeles until they learn the truth. Mitch will be questioned by warrant issued by Detective Burrow. After receiving a threatening message, Sienna vanishes. Holden's involvement causes Claire to begin to worry that she might be in danger. Additionally, Mitch, always the puppet master, makes a cryptic phone call to an unidentified individual. The Newmans are making inquiries. Manage it. Anyone who gets too close to the truth may cause the line to die as well. The effects on emotions and the way forward. Noah's road to recovery will be long for Sharon and Nick. His emotional scars and the trauma of betrayal will take time to heal, but his physical wounds will. Additionally, the experience forces both parents to examine their relationship. They reunite with one another after decades of tragedy, reconciliation, and breakups. Sharon is held in place by Nick's quiet strength, and her unwavering compassion softens his edges. Sharon murmurs, "We've lost so much, Nick," as they sit by Noah's bedside. "I cannot also lose him." Nick puts his hand on hers. "You will not." "I do promise." A promise that might soon be put to the test. What comes after? The plot is by no means over. According to upcoming Y&R spoilers, Noah's encounter with death will have repercussions not only in LA but also in Genoa City. An interstate investigation is triggered by Sienna's disappearance. It appears that Mitch will be arrested soon, but he may have powerful allies. When Claire discovers Holden's connection to Mitch's past, she is targeted. The rekindled romance between Nate and Victoria jeopardizes the company's stability. The rekindled closeness between Sharon and Nick could be problematic for other relationships. Nothing and no one will be the same when the dust settles. Last Thoughts. The Young and the Restless is an excellent example of multi-layered storytelling, with family drama and romance intertwined with mystery. All of that is delivered in spades in the Noah crash arc. This storyline has the potential to become one of Y&R's defining moments in 2025 thanks to Roger Howarth playing Mitch, Tamara Braun's complex Sienna balancing guilt and survival, and powerful emotional performances from Joshua Morrow and Sharon Case. The crash of Noah is more than just a plot twist, it marks a turning point. A collision of secrets, lies, and long-buried emotions in addition to cars. Every Y&R fan is aware that whenever secrets collide in Genoa City, someone always loses.